Good afternoon, all. Am I audible now?
Ye- Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Right, thank you. Give me a moment. I can share my screen. Can we start?
Yes, sir. We can start. Yeah. Dear participants, I welcome you all for the afternoon session of day one. So now we have a session called Future of Blockchain, Life Simplified by Dr. P. Muruganandan, sir. Sir, it's your turn, sir.
Give me a moment. Right. Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to the third session of the day one. Hope you got some good things in connection with blockchain, specifically in banking and insurance. In fact, we are having several sectors for the purpose of implementing blockchain. When we talk about this blockchain, the technology which is mooted as potentially addressing some challenges facing data, specifically used in healthcare, is blockchain. This is a type of shared distributed digital ledger which allows every event that a piece of data undergoes, whether it is viewed, used, or changed, to be recorded indelibly. At each and every event occurs, information on the event is added as a block connected in sequence to the one recording the previous event. As the data in the blockchain is recorded on a distributed peer-to-peer basis, it creates an ever-growing permanent record that cannot be altered retroactively, nor can the sequence of blocks be changed without it affecting all subsequent blocks. This is what we are discussing for the past two sessions. Here, when we say the healthcare industry or the life simplification process, whether the blockchain effectively allow the data and the people to manage consent and access to their health data where they see fit is the $1 million question. The industry has started getting oriented to accommodate this new blockchain technology and investing time and money to research on the possibilities of adjusting the environment to introduce blockchain, of course, collaborating with the industry as well as academia. Even with this happy point of view, there are still some difficulties that exist in the blockchain implementation in healthcare industry. Blockchain technology will help in replacing the old technologies in healthcare and also introducing new action plans along with changing the way we see the industry as on the date. So let us discuss what is the future of blockchain in a life simplification way. How we are going to enjoy those kind of things. In fact, already I said there are 6 technologies predicted as old changing technology, and blockchain is one among that one. And we know the definition, no need of repeating the same thing again. And I hope the participants thoroughly classify the blockchain and Bitcoin properly, and nobody will have the confusion among the Bitcoin, which is a part of blockchain. Right? In fact, we are thinking about this BC because of the several possible things in terms of benefits, including the error removal or error reduction. In fact, I assume myself, the participants gathered here, most of the people belongs to circuit branches or computer science branches. So I thought of putting this code of ethics, human values. In fact, whatever the activity which we are carrying out should have some ethics. To treat fairly all persons regardless of such factors as race, religion, gender, disability, age, or national origin, which is the code of ethics formulated by IEEE in the year of 2012. Hope the people gathered here also knows this well, but still eye opener. In fact, we discussed the challenges of blockchain, which includes the environmental cost as well as the establishing cost, which is a huge. In fact, the two items, the environmental cost and established cost, are really a question mark how this technology is going to move further in all the sectors, including the health industry. Right. So when we talk about this blockchain in healthcare, we are supposed to know what is blockchain. In fact, we discussed it for the past two sessions. The various applications of blockchain, the blockchain in healthcare, a healthcare transaction in blockchain, and benefits of blockchain in healthcare, the drawbacks of blockchain in healthcare, of course, the challenges for blockchain in healthcare. In fact, I strongly believe the blockchain will change the entire world, including the healthcare industry, even though it is having some challenges as on the date. So this is the thing which we are going to see in the next 1 hour 30 minutes time period. Before that, you just recollect the things which we discussed in the morning session. When we talk about the blockchain, we are supposed to think of platform, we are supposed to think of services, of course, various examples shown in the morning session. In fact, the organization size, irrespective of the size, whether it is a large enterprises or small medium enterprises, no problem. We can go for implementing this, provided if you are affording the establishment cost. In terms of provider, we talk about application, middleware, and infrastructure. In type, we spoke about private, public, and hybrid. In the application, I told N number. Among this N number, we discussed banking and insurance alone, and now we are going to discuss little bit about healthcare industry. So when we talk about the applications, the banking, supply chain, digital IDs, digital voting, title deeds, medical records, food safety are listed as a top number. In fact, banking already we discussed. In the case of supply chain, also we are having possibility of implementing this, because the blockchain also comes in particularly handy when it comes to monitoring supply chains. I hope I slightly touch upon this. When we go for purchasing something, 1 liter of oil, it is possible for us to identify where it is product produced or the raw material produced and the person whom produced. So that much in-depth identical is possible. In fact, the digital IDs also slightly I touched. We can eradicate a variety of cards like Aadhaar, PAN, right, ATM, etc. things. Instead of that, we can go for a single card. Then fourth one also I slightly touched regarding the voting machines, digital voting, so that the card of the individual can be connected with this voting machine, so a person cannot vote multiple occasions. In fact, the revenue department, which is having a large income in our country, the title deeds, right? In fact, the government of India also looking in this particular aspect. The medical records and the food safety are the remaining areas which is visible to me as a broad area. In fact, the target audience, if you are looking, the security, the technology vendors, the communication service providers, consultants, consultancies, advisory firms. We are having a vast scope in. That's what Seshram mentioned. Blockchain become as a tokenized item, right? If you want these things perfectly, definitely we require not even imagine about this. The latest, most hyped concept in the IT world as on the day, an open and comprehensive network of intelligent objects that have the capacity to auto-organize, share information, data, and resources, reacting and acting in face of situations and changes in the environment. In fact, the IoT may be defined as a network of networks, where the end devices are not user-handled devices, but can be computing devices, including mechanical and digital machines. That's what I put here. Almost anything, including living things connected to the internet, regardless of location or other physical constraints. In fact, the corona situation made us, this statement is true and it is mandatory for us. I hope the participants will accept. When we go for doing all these things, the data, right, which is absorbed by the various electronic gadgets. Generally, the IoT can be associated with the generation and manipulation of vast amounts of data, behavior, and the interaction. Popularly, we are calling the term as big data. So, the big data, the particular IoT term, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning are inevitable when we are thinking about blockchain, right? In fact, all the activities will be process driven only. We are supposed to collect, analyze. Based on the analysis, we are going to take action. There is no change in it. Only change, only addition, we are going to add something which is called blockchain technology in the existing activity. When we are saying that healthcare application, that too incorporation of blockchain technology, right? The fact the data is processed much more quickly and payroll shrinks considerably in the absence of large in-house IT crews. There are no on-site servers to wipe out or seriously compromise in the case of natural disasters or malicious cyber attacks. Here, the automated scalability is a key, right? We are doing this. In the healthcare application, the connectivity is generally kept as a server or a cloud. If you are looking the informations from various people, including the researchers like Tokyo-based Renesas Electric Corporation, the cloud computing and healthcare has huge potential to improve a host of healthcare-related functions, such as telehealth and virtual care medication, right? Or even medication adherence, drug anti-theft, and counterfeiting measures. We can list a number. But if you are thinking to incorporate the blockchain in this particular segment, then the things will be in a better, safe way. Because most of the occasions, we people are worrying about our privacy. Specifically this EMR and the EHR, electronic health record and electronic medical record. So in that case, if the things are stored in server, there is a possibility of losing everything in a particular moment. Instead of that, if you are storing in multiple millions of computers, the possibility is high for safety. The telehealth, right? When I say telehealth, in the past 1 year, the telemedicine is improved nothing like that. Reason, the distance between the patient and provider, the access to reliable transportation, fragmentation of care due to gaps in between appointments, lack of available providers, we can again list a number. Here, the data which is stored in the server is getting replaced from the server to blockchain technology, where we are storing and utilizing the things. When we say the telemedicine, the distance and travel time between patients and care providers can limit access to care. But these are all fundamental things. But the recent studies are showing in a different way about the patients. 38% of patients are coming to the hospital admissions. 31% of the people are coming for readmissions. 63% are likely to spend fewer days in the hospital, which means the healthcare industry is getting ready for revamping. No need of having number of or hundreds of beds, right? So here the blockchain technology has the potential to transform the healthcare, placing the patient at the center of the healthcare ecosystem and increasing the security, privacy, and the health data also. So this technology could provide a new model for health information exchanges by making EMR more efficient, disintermediated, and secure, right? So here we are thinking about the artificial intelligence. The EHR data can help to identify infection patterns and highlight patterns, right? And it will be motivating, convincing the patients at risk before they begin to show symptoms. Here, the machine learning and AI tools to drive these analytics can enhance their accuracy as well as create faster, more accurate alerts for healthcare providers. In fact, reality AR, VR, already most of the or more life sciences companies are using this technology. Why? It is creating reactive how new drugs interact with body. Things can where the data is going to end of operations or surgery. How the data is going to keep safely, or that this particular blockchain technology will help in a greater way. Of course, when you look the development trends, right, in the healthcare area, the cloud-based healthcare support, the improved telemedicine, BC, AI, AR, these are all, again, I am saying, inevitable. But can we go for implementing separately of all these things? Is not a feasible way. We are supposed to club, we are supposed to interlink all those things. That's what we are choosing this particular technology. In fact, I am talking for the past almost 3 hours. Just
Sir, sorry for the disturbance, sir. Your PPT was
Yes,
closed, sir. Your presentation not visible.
One second. Yes. Right. I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
Thank you.
you got stopped from which slide? This slide you've seen, right?
Just now only, sir.
Right. So I spoke about the AR. So when we talk about the development trends, we are supposed to club these all technologies together so that the things will be in a hours continuously. Just for refreshing the mindset of you people, I'm putting this question. Often we are hearing the term healthcare word, and it is defined and written and pronounced in two different ways in a single word as well as double word. But it is having its own different it provider as well as the payer, right? When we say the patient, when we say the physicians, how we are connecting all these people? Definitely, we require some certain amount of Internet of Things for connecting these various people. In fact, before IoT, you just imagine the people are just going to the hospital and waiting hours and hours to meet the doctors. But now the things are little bit simplified. The IoT enabled devices, which is connected with or which is implemented with blockchain technology, have made remote monitoring in the healthcare sector possible, unleashing the potential to keep patients safe and healthy. Of course, empowering the physicians to deliver superlative care. I used to say an example. Assume a patient who is implanted a device to monitor the heart beating, right? So in that sense, if you are looking in that sense, the device which is connected with the heart patient, right, will receive certain amount of data. How the data will be absorbed? It will be absorbed by using devices. Various devices. It can be. It can be. It can be. We can say actuator. Sensor. But when I say the example, a device which is connected with the patient's body must observed in the form of for the purpose of processing. In fact, these collected data, right? The data collected from such kind of sensors, monitors, detectors, camera system, actuators will be processed by converting analog form to digital form and removing unwanted, unnecessary fields, which we are generally calling the various way. Once it is digitized, it may be go for storing, where we may think of the blockchain. So far, it is stored as a data in data center or cloud. Here, this data center or cloud will be replaced with blockchain technology. Of course, the final data which we are going to manage and analyzed in various required level, or even advanced analytics are applied to this particular data, which maybe brings to actionable business insights for effective decision making. So this is simple to brief. This is the flow if we want to redefine the healthcare system by implementing blockchain technology. So everywhere the data is secured in a safe manner. Instead of that server and cloud, we are proposing this blockchain technology. Since we are proposing this blockchain technology stored in different locations, so is impossible. So this will ensure better care, improved treatment outcomes, and reduced cost for patients, and better processes and workflows. In fact, improved performance and patient experience for healthcare providers. Definitely, it will reduce the cost. It will improve the treatment. It will go for diagnosing the diseases quickly. It will make proactive treatment. It will be managing the drugs and equipment management. So definitely the error will be not 100% eradicated, and error will be reduced. In fact, the slide which I am showing on the screen is connected with the insurance companies too. I urge the participants, you please recall the slide which I shown in the morning session, second session. How the policy claim can be happened when we connect this IoT technology along with blockchain technology. Right? So this healthcare is an important one and most possible way for growing us in the coming days. So this is what already I said, the reduction, improved treatment and other possible things when we go for redefining the healthcare with the implementation of IoT as well as blockchain thing. Here the potential application specifically towards the blockchain. We may talk about supply chains, we may talk about drug verification, reimbursement, control the access. Not only that, we can think of clinical trials too. Because for the past 6+ months, the clinical trials are having lot of question among the public. Why? What is the reason behind? The reason, if you are talking about the supply chain, different industrial sectors, right, are looking in this particular factor, especially with modern medicines commanding premium prices, pharmaceuticals are an attractive prospect for counterfeiters. I hope you people will agree. Even the corona situation, the things still under the control of government so that we are not having such kind of problem in the corona medicine. Although an anti-counterfeiting system based on QR codes already exists in various places, but if you are going for blockchain, it can add a further layer of integrity for guaranteeing product integrity. So anybody can verify from anywhere at any time, because these things are all in chain and it is possible to identify. It is similar to the 1 liter of oil, raw material, who produced and where it is produced. Second, the authentication, the drug verification. In fact, throughout the world, the medicine authenticity is a big problem. The ability to verify the authenticity of drugs at the point of dispensing, for example, in the community or hospital pharmacy, that can be use of blockchain with the pharmaceutical industry. While there are already many examples of blockchain used for secure supply chain within the industry and its suppliers, there are only few at the caregiver level. In the reimbursement, we discussed a lot in the morning session how the things can be reimbursement, specifically in the insurance. And the fourth one, the control, the access. I told about EMR and EHR. When we go for small contract in the blockchain, towards the EMR and EHR can be possible for the people, for the doctor, for the hospital to investigate about a disease in a confident level. I told about clinical level, clinical trials, so there is no need of explaining the same thing again. In fact, the benefit, I told an example of government of Kerala, which all the government hospitals are connected together. So the decentralization and shared control. Maybe if you are talking about the decentralization and shared control in a technical way, one is the architectural decentralization. Second, we can say political decentralization. And the third one, we can say logical decentralization. So the blockchain is politically and architecturally decentralized while being logically centralized. Hope you people understand that decentralized and shared control possibility by implementing of blockchain. Blockchain itself immutability. So there is no question of data issue. Then the third one, the assets and exchanges. Since the information can be stored in the cyberspace without any single element owning or controlling it, it opens up a road where each asset which we have can be sustained in the information in blockchain. This brings down the issues in setting up trades like we can say stock, currency, online retail, right? Including the health insurance exchanges. Of course, the error reduction, always we are saying, the challenges, if you are looking the challenges, the change management and governance terms in the blockchain. When we think about implementing this, we may have challenges in implementation level as well as operational level. Implementation level, this includes agreeing on how to integrate the different systems to the blockchain and encoding the business processes via smart contracts. In India itself, if you are looking the number of colleges and hospitals, it is a huge number. Everybody is having their own system. It is not that much easy to implement in all the places. And the users are also in different localities and using different systems. On the other hand, when we talk about the operational level, first thing, agreeing on where the blockchain system will be hosted, right? I given some example for hosting the applications of blockchain. Some platforms also I sold. Who runs the different components? What data needs to be shared? How and who has permission to what? How to govern any potential changes to the life cycle of existing process? So these kind of issues will come in change management and governance terms. So this what in a simple way we said, there is no much regulations in our country for blockchain. Second, the data sharing. Even in my institute, some of the faculty members are interested to get medical records for doing their research. Of course, not in blockchain. It might be in the form of deep learning technologies or some algorithms. Then, interoperability. If you are looking the implementation or proprietary, not a multiple sharing. And the fourth one, the uncertainty. And the fifth one, as I said multiple times, rules and regulations. So it is a new technology, high initial cost, not able to handle large data sets, right? So these challenges, how we are going to overcome. Again, if you are asking me, just ignore all these things, just move forward so that we may able to make the things in a better way for this particular healthcare industry. That's what I always say. The reason behind, when we see the IoT or blockchain, specifically in the medical management, we are having several sectors like manufacturing, distribution, provider of care, customer service, research and development, of course, the patient also. We want to connect all these people together. In that scenario, right? Right? In that scenario, how we are going to connect these different businesses. I said simply that healthcare industry, but healthcare industry is having its own variety of segments. When we say manufacturing, not only the medicine manufacturing, not only the equipment manufacturing of healthcare industry, that particular manufacturer will have manufacturing of some other items for some other sectors too. How it is going to be a common one. Why I said all these things, the growth, the market growth. When you look this market growth, within the next 5-year period of time, as per the Grandview Research Incorporation, 534.3 billion US dollar is going to get turnover. The real-time data monitoring in the healthcare industry is becoming very much important nowadays, because the corona period also taught us a big lesson, how to deal the patients without a supporting person. So in that sense, we are supposed to monitor patients without a supporting person with the help of artificial intelligence technique. In fact, the data has to be stored in blockchain. So the real-time data monitoring is inevitable in the coming days. When we monitor such kind of things, not only patients, it is applicable to disabled persons. How the observed data is going to shared with others. Shared with others sense, again here the question, the permissioned people. So the network will be, or the chain will be permissioned chain. So if you are looking this, in this sector, several companies are already started their work. Some names I am putting on the screen, where the Biotronic, Boston Scientific may be familiar term to some of you people. Not only the companies, the segmentation also huge. Nowadays, the wearable external devices are coming up in a bigger way. Not only that, implanted medical devices, stationary medical devices. So which area we are going to plan for our project? Which area we are interested to do research? First of all, we have to decide what technology we are interested to do. Of course, if you are choosing blockchain, the other technologies are also required up to a certain extent. After choosing this technology, what sector I am going to kickstart my research? Okay, if we are taking the sector as a healthcare industry, then we may go for identifying the next sub stage in various way. That one is market segmentation. All right. So if you are not interested in this, we may go for that. In that also, the remote device management, the network bandwidth management, the data analytics, the application security, the network security, again, we can list it. Or else, go for thinking of the service, where the service system integration, consulting, training, education, support and maintenance service. In fact, the consulting, training and education is also coming up in a bigger way, especially in healthcare industry. Not only that, the connectivity, whether it is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, NFC, cellular or satellite. Sometime we may go for newer technology in the connectivity too. No, sir. Then I am a pharmaceutical expert or I am a MBBS doctor. I want to use this blockchain technology in the clinical research organizations, hospitals and clinics, research and diagnostic organization. The lists are very small. Again, you can go for elaborating this. Medicine or medication management, clinical operation, compassion monitoring, connected imaging. So the scope in the healthcare sector, broad one. Why it is required? The requirement is like this. When we say some equipments or devices are connected with my body, specifically I send an example, a device implanted in the heart patient body to monitor the heart beating. So being able to monitor and support a person free from physical constraints will change the way doctors deal with patients. Nowadays, the doctors are not even touching the patient. Hope some of you or most of you will agree that. Only based on the symptoms, based on the questions, based on the answers for the questions, they will go for trying something, trial and error method. That's what the telemedicine is got a place, a permanent place. The reason earlier days and all, or even current days also, we are just doing our routine works. A fine day, we are getting a problem, but we are not taking as a serious one. After several days, in terms of weeks, months, we are finding difficulty for moving, so that we are forced to take diagnosis. And by visiting various doctors, by getting opinions from one to multiple doctors, we are going for treatment. By that time, the disease is in the matured state. Assume which is connected with the human. The most beneficial of wearable devices is we can diagnose even the disease gets start the same kind of devices. Some diseases may show symptoms randomly. For that particular size type of problems, we may use this kind of blockchain technology implementation. So the symptoms, whenever occurs, will be observed by the device and stored in the particular BC. Over the period of time or the time interval between the symptoms, such kind of analysis can be done even without going to a hospital, even without revealing the symptoms data to the third parties, even including the family members, so that the prevention, the treatment, the wellness of the individuals will be in a higher possible way. If you are looking the hospital, it's taken at technologies. It is having several modules. Just for the purpose of participants, I am sharing this. It is not feasible for the participants to make as a proper blockchain implemented software package even within a year of time. So I used to say suggestions to the colleges like that. When we say Syed Ammal College of Engineering or Engineering College, the college should have its own theme for the next 1 or 2 decades. When we say IIT Kanpur, people used to say civil engineering is the best. Similarly, we have to choose a theme for carrying out the research in our institute. I am always saying you please choose the healthcare industry because it is having more scope. In the healthcare industry itself, we are having several modules, not limited with the items displayed on the slide. In fact, if you are making these things with IoT and BC, will become as a smarter one. There will be no question. The entire world is with app. In fact, most of the data are getting stolen from the mobile phones. But which hospital is having app for all type of modules? Just think of it. Again, it is taken from Ken Expert Technologies. Again, we are having several sub-modules in everywhere. You may ask, sir, how it is connected directly with blockchain? Yes, the users, the stakeholders involved in this smart OPD itself, right? Specified here like the doctor, the patient, the pharmacy, the various agency for analyzing the various diseases or aspect. So ATAL is having submodules. Every submodules can go to level again and again. So considering this, always we are saying the scope for jumping into the healthcare industry project research will give lot of benefit for the individuals in the coming days. In fact, the corona made us, all the campuses are mandatorily monitor the temperature of viewers visit. In fact, we are doing. Are we storing all the data? Are we analyzing all the data? Similarly, the patient wearables, patient implants, ventilators, the IV fluids, Most of the occasions, it is happening issue in the hospital. So the healthcare apps, specifically in electronic healthcare records, right? EHRs. Link all the technology. I didn't put the BC. It is taken from the reference site. It is not available there.
Sir, Muruganandan, sir.
Yes. Romana Racha. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, friends. I got again disconnected.
Yeah, now.
Okay. Have you seen the market size, Muthukumar sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Right. So if you are looking at the market size also for the past 1 decade, it is showing a very good positive sign. Of course, the composition of Indian sector health industry, where the doctors, the medical colleges also giving a positive sign. Not only that, the insurance, specifically this particular slide prepared some months back in the year of 2020, it is almost cost 8.5 US billion dollar. Not only that, the predictions, the forecastings. When we say the predictions, the forecastings, specifically in the healthcare industry, as per Gartner, it is said, it is forecasted, predicted that 15 billion devices will be connected with IoT by the year of 2020, but it is already breached. It is crossed that. And another prediction in the global level of IoT in healthcare in the year of 2025 is predicting like that 2.5 trillion US dollar. In fact, one third of the IoT connected devices will belongs to healthcare industry within next 5-year period of time. So deployment of the industrial internet can help to derive down cost from clinical and operations in efficiencies by roughly 25% or about 100 billion US dollar per year. I always insist participants to look in this particular category because India is projected as one of the highest skill supply area. In fact, the corona situation also shows like that other than the country India or except a few countries, remaining countries are struggling still in the healthcare way. So definitely the healthcare sector is required huge skill force in the coming days. It is difficult to supply that expected or required level of skill force. Definitely the world will depend on such kind of IoT devices where the data secrecy safetiness is highly required. So it is undoubtedly blockchain in IoT is required in healthcare industry. If you are looking at our country, the government initiatives like private partnership, national ICE mission, national health policy are also showing positive thoughts towards this particular industry. In fact, always the challenges, security and privacy. In fact, when we go for blockchain, we can claim the security is in higher way. The remaining thing, healthcare reform and mandates are not in our hand, but the technology adoption. When we go for implementing blockchain technology in a hospital, the cost, the technique utilization, or the technology utilization. So the education about the various technology among the stakeholders also a big challenge. So this is the major reason always we are saying that the things will be comes in a tokenized way as well as per the JBS Haldane statement. I have no doubt that in reality the future will be vastly more surprising than anything I can imagine. Some devices are already available like pill dispensers, the electronic bottles, caps and pouches, pharmacy on a chip, biomonitoring trucks, smartwatches, fitness, well-being, family, clinical support and home monitoring. But the data security, data safety is still a question mark because those things are all not implemented blockchain. So we may have such kind of scope. Not only the healthcare sector, it is applicable in the energy industry also. Why we are saying energy industry? When we go for implementing the blockchain, we required huge amount of energy because millions of computers are going to connect. And if you want to operate, then we require definitely energy. In fact, AI becomes more and more important in the energy industry and is having great potential for the future design of energy system. Typical areas of application are, we can say, electricity trading, smart grids, or the sector coupling of electricity, heat and transport, like that we can list. But the prerequisite for an increased use of AI in the energy system are the digitalization of the energy sector. How we are going to do this? How blockchain will help us in quicker and easier way. That's what I told at the beginning in the morning session. It is not purely computer experts' work. It required the interdisciplinary approach. It is required various expertise, specifically the sector where we are intended to implement these technologies. In fact, the smart grid or another area of application, these networks transport not only electricity but also data. Hope the persons coming from abroad, specifically US or Gulf countries, knows these things. Especially with an increasing number of volatile power generation plants such as solar and wind. Why I am saying is, Government of India also opened this particular business platform for the public. People can come forward to do business by producing energy from solar, wind, or any type of renewable sources. Which means the society or the public is having the right to choose the power supplier similar to our mobile provider in the coming decade. So, in that sense, we are supposed to think of how this blockchain IoT can be implemented in energy industry. In fact, artificial intelligence too. A self-explanatory picture shown on the screen where the various type of locations the energy is getting produced. As you know well, the energy cannot be stored in higher amount as on date. We don't have that kind of technology now. So whatever the energy is produced has to be utilized, otherwise it will go as waste. According to the requirement only, the energy will be produced. Now the government, both central as well as the state governments, opened this gate for the produce of energy. So the producer will produce. How the producer will produce, what is the forecasting, how the producer will forecast, how the producer will plan. For all those things, we required this grid management. In fact, where the artificial intelligence and blockchain is playing a major role. The produced energy has to be redirected to the appropriate place in appropriate time with low loss. So when we supply such kind of things, now every month the electricity person is coming to our home for taking the reading, right? In fact, the smart homes smart meter. I will share a video at the end of the program, which can be self-explanatory, how we can make smart homes. So everything is required such kind of power, and of course with data safety. This is what I told. The different producers has to produce for them the algorithm which we are making in the machine algorithm or deep learning algorithm, where the data can be stored in the blockchain. For all those things, the grid management can be placed as a virtual power plant. Just for a reference, I am sharing this particular virtual power plant and intelligent grid, right? Model. Here also the problem, the obstacles, criticism will always come. The cyber attacks. Why the cyber attacks? The people, those who are going to use energy, will be in a bigger volume. We cannot predict that what type of system they are using. So in the intermediate time, the data will be transferred from BC to some other place also. So the cyber attacks. When the cyber attacks are there, then the question of data protection and security. In fact, the power consumption. We will discuss the power consumption in detail slides. So again, flow diagram understanding of the participants in the case of AI. We will ask, I'm okay, I am interested to choose healthcare industry or energy industry, but what is the scope for me in energy area? Which are all the companies are using or doing these things? In fact, again, large sector or small medium sector. Of course, again, we can say a lot of applications, but it is not appropriate. So the platform or service, are we going to do as a platform or a service? When you talk about the type, whether it is a private or public, here I didn't put up the hybrid model because that kind of things are not arised as on the date. Maybe later it will come. When you look about the user, the oil and gas as well as power. Again, when you look in depth by application, we may go for thinking about grid management, energy trading, supply chain management, payment scheme, in fact, the regulations, rules, etc. things. So, when you think about blockchain, first of all, you have to decide whether you are interested to do project or research. Second, which technology you want to implement. Third, which sector you are interested to do your project. Fourth, in that sector, what is the major area you are interested? Then again, it will goes down, right? So we have to identify the problem and we have to identify the possibilities too. Why I am saying this is, the blockchain, specifically in energy area, there are some top players. When we say top players, of course, the Microsoft USA, Accenture, SAP, and IBM are the top players who are all making implementation of blockchain in this energy area. Then we will ask, do we have any Indian player? No Indian player in the top position. Yes, we are having. The top fifth player is Infosys. That is the major reason they are intended to acquire several interdisciplinary candidates and emerging as a big player. The problem is because of the population, because of the security, because of the environment. So these challenges I want to connect, which is not directly related with blockchain, but it is mandatorily required. If you are looking the world energy production in the last but year, 1,52,000 terawatt hour. If you are looking the Indian energy production, it is almost 1,300 terawatt hour. Not even 1% of the global energy production. Among this global energy production, less than 10% produced from renewable energy sources. Remaining are all making from conventional model and creating lot of pollution problems. When we use systems, internet, or any electric device connected with energy is consuming lot of energy and emitting CO2. There is no question in it. If you are looking the analysis, 10% of the produced energy in the world consumed for the purpose of operating ICT, and it is increasing 5 to 7% every year. If you are using desktop or laptop, that is not a matter, but it is consuming energy and emitting CO2 into the environment. When we are saying emitting CO2 into the environment, it includes the mail communication too, which is equivalent to a 60-watt Thomas Alva Edison's lamp lit for 25 minutes. If you are using 20 mails per day for 1 year, which is equivalent to the CO2 emit by traveling a car for 1,000 kilometers. Not only that, the routers also. In addition to this, we are always using data center, which is equivalent to thermal power plant, 1/10 of the thermal power plant. You just imagine how much CO2 will be emitted from that. In addition, always we are having the habit of searching something from search engines. If you don't know something, immediately we will Google it. So when we go for doing searching, the search engines will come with a result, right? That to thousands of results, which means it is going to access thousands of computers. Just imagine how much we are damaging the environment. So the browsing wave is equivalent to 1400 kilometer travel by a car, which is emitting CO2. So the life can be simplified with connected devices, right? In various ways, including the home automation. When I say home automation, this is a data generating factory. If you are making the home similar to the video which I am showing on the screen, definitely that particular home is a data factory, which is interacting with various devices. And if you are connecting these all devices, this data in secured way, the safety is not a. What about the environment? As I said,
Sir, Muruganathan sir. Hello.
okay, again, sorry, I got disconnected again. Don't know. This is the first time. I had twice in this particular institute in the past. Nothing has happened, but now I am getting continuously issue. Right. So knowing that the hydroelectric dam, which is making problem to the people, not only people, it is going to remove the rare species of the fish item we are constructing. Similarly, the mining techniques too. So these kind of environmental ethics, how we are going to manage by implementing this blockchain and other computer technologies, the climate change, pollution, conservation, energy, resource depletion, toxins, genetic engineering, intensive farming, right? We can list n number. In addition to that, the ethics is also a problem. The privacy, security, and the consumer welfare is also a problem. So these kind of problems we are supposed to overcome. Of course, definitely we will come over. Before winding up, I am not going to say these kind of principles because these are all already specified and conveyed in various places. Only one thing, always people are interested to look the things with human values. People will look the total cost of ownership. People will look the global warming potential and secondary environmental impacts. If you focus on results, you will never change. If you focus on change, you will get results. As a familiar term to all of us, the Bloom's taxonomy tried to give something with multiple tastes in a single attempt, that too the IoT and blockchain. As Walt Disney mentioned, let all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. But if you want to jump into this, you should have a white paper which reflects the strength, weakness, challenges, and opportunities. Still, you people are having 4 more days with another 12 sessions or 11 sessions where you may get variety of speakers with in-depth, sometime hands-on training too in this particular topic. But without having a white paper which reflect your strength, weakness, opportunity, challenges, it is not possible. It is not that much easier. Before winding up, I want to share my career philosophy, which is transforming student engineers into practicing engineers, family first, student always, ethics and environment is my family. So before winding that, I was not able to show one self-explanatory video towards the insurance. It is not applicable to insurance. It is applicable to the banking sector too. It is applicable to the various blockchain implementation, irrespective of the sectors. Give me a moment. I can share that video. By looking that, you can understand very easily how the things are going in the world. The life simplified with fintech.
Welcome to
Please
your new car.
look it.
The first thing we're going to do is have you sign in so we can get your lease insurance and payments on the way. All right. We're going to sign a contract that is the lease of your choice. And you are now able to choose which of the options you would like. So you have a low, medium, and high option in terms of mileage for your lease.
Okay, I'm going to take the mid-mileage lease.
All right. We're going to prepare a contract for you so you don't actually have to deal with any paper. You can sign this contract electronically with just a swipe of your finger. So go ahead and click Get Started. And go ahead and choose to sign. All right. You can enter your signature here. And you notice your signature shows up here. It's as simple as that. You've now signed your lease. We're going to take this lease recorded in DocuSign associated with your account, as well as record out on the blockchain that this lease has been signed. Before you can drive, the next thing for you to do is go ahead and get insurance. Which one of these insurance policies would you like?
I think I'm going to take the biggest policy.
All right, let's DocuSign your insurance contract. We're now going to draw up a contract. Again, you didn't have to go out and find an insurance agency. We brought it right to you within the car. You can see all of the information about your insurance contract here, and we have your signature on file. Go ahead and sign if you're okay with this. Right, so you now actually have a lease and you have insurance. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to pay with your Visa card. So what's really great about this car is your Visa card lives inside of the car. So you don't have to pull it out to be able to pay for the things that you pay for, like tolls and parking. So let's go ahead and add your Visa card to this car.
Okay.
All right, you see it there. The car now is able to pay for tolls, car maintenance, music service, and any of the other kinds of bills you might expect that you would encounter while you're driving along. And now, your car is going to pay for the lease and the insurance, and also be set up to pay for other things. So you've now paid for your lease and your insurance. So let's go ahead and take this car for a test drive.
Okay.
All right, so here you're going to see how your car checks to make sure that the lease is valid and that the insurance is valid. And as you drive, what's amazing is tolls are automatically paid for. And You can see that if you were to shop at a restaurant, your car would pay for that. You wouldn't have to whip out plastic to be able to pay for stuff. Visa is taking care of all of that for you. And then ultimately, when you park, the car with its Visa card is able to pay for parking. In dashboard, we're going to give you some reports. Here you can see a report of an overview of how you've been driving. You can see the things that you paid for with your Visa card. Your lease reports, so your DocuSign lease there, and how many months have gone by, and ultimately your insurance contract. What's great here is if you noticed, you drove under the miles of your insurance contract, and so we've just given you a 20% discount.
That is great.
All right. If you wanted to, we could also add services. We have a whole marketplace of services for you to choose from music to navigation, roadside assistance. With that, I'd like to congratulate you on your brand new car.
Thank you so much.
So this is the one which we can expect the future will be in a bigger way, in a simplified way. But whatever we do, we people always tell that, sir, I am not happy, right? Sir, I am doing all the things for my family. I am doing every work for my office. But my boss is not happy, my colleagues are not happy, my family members are not happy. If you want to check your happiness index, the Johari window is the best example. I used to show in all the FDP sessions for the last 5 to 10 minutes because the individual happiness index must be in higher percentage. Otherwise, whatever we teach, whatever we train, the things will not react in a higher percentage. If you want to check your happiness index by using the Johari window, you can use it. The sample activities are spelled out on the left and right side of the screen. But the only condition, the Johari window is having 4 boxes. One is open pan, second one is blind pan, third one is hidden pan, and fourth one is unknown pan. Sir, I know driving well. Known to self. I know driving well, and my parents, my relatives, my friends also know that I drive car well. So which will come in the open pan. Sir, I don't know whether I have the capability of climbing the mountain Everest. Unknown to self. I don't know. My friends and relatives knows my capability of climbing mountain Everest. Unknown to others, which comes under the box unknown pan. Sir, I don't know whether I can make a project well, unknown to self. But my boss always tell me that I have the caliber of making a project well, known to others, comes under blind pan. Sir, I am having the capability of executing anything, everything at any time, known to self. But my boss is not knowing my caliber, unknown to others, comes in the hidden pan. According to your interest, the analyze may go macro, micro, nano level. Accordingly, you have to increase or decrease the number of activities. But only condition, one activity can be put up in any one of the boxes. After putting up all the selected activities, you go for counting that. After counting, you will get a number. If the number comes in a higher way under open pan, very less number in unknown pan, then you can confidently claim that you are having more happiness index. In fact, you are the most happiest person. Otherwise, you just self-introspect the various activities. It means you are supposed to change some alterations in your existing activities. If you want to get some tips in connection with improving happiness index, you can refer The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Robin Sharma's Who Will Cry When You Die, an Indian author. You might get some more tips for improving the life with happiness index. And these are all the some references which I referred for preparing the particular session talk. If you are interested to make any collaborative research, collaborative project, of course, DSD given a lot of openings as on the date. If anything so, you may contact me through offline in the specified contact details. If you are having any specific questions, I am ready to ask you, I am ready to tell you. So thank you for your patient listening. thank you for the authorities of Syed Amal Engineering College, specifically the head Professor Muthukumar, for giving me a chance. And thank you for the participants to bear my delay in connection with the network delay, and in between also we got disconnected. Sorry for that. Kind apologies for such kind of things. Thank you all. Thank you for your patient listening. Over to the coordinator.
Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
your
you so
wonderful
much for the
presentation,
wonderful
sir.
presentation, sir.
Sir, in chat box, we have a query, sir.
Okay.
Can we use blockchain technology at the device end in healthcare for data security?
Can we use blockchain technology at the device end in healthcare? Definitely we can use, but still it is, these things are all under in infant stage activity.
Participants, any other questions? Kindly post
Thank
in
you,
the chat box.
Anita.
Or
Thank you, Satya, Sophia, Ganesh Reddy. Okay, I missed some more names. Abhijit, Kavita, Menaka, Atma, Danya. Okay, if you are having any questions, we can discuss. Definitely blockchain technology in agriculture, traceability and quality. Definitely, Akshida. Why not? See, we are having a note in every product that the expiry date, right? So in that sense, we can easily identify which region the product is produced, which region the product is produced, on which date it is produced, right? So that the warranty details can be easily identified. So nobody can give wrong data in connection to that particular item. So we can have the confidence of using such kind of products. So that is 100% possible if you are going to use such kind of system, right? Then what data set is suitable for healthcare, right? Several open data sets for healthcare is available, madam. Several data. Give me a moment. If you are looking looking at the CDC, right? In my knowledge, I think asked by Anita Narajan, right? CDC is one of the open data set specifically for the healthcare, which I knows, right? In fact, the World Health Organization is also having. Then, if you are talking about a data set, one moment, I will recall the CR, SWER, right? That is by US government. So several things are available, right? Thank you, Dr. Sumati. Arun, I think Professor Anita, are you doing any project towards this? If so, and if you are interested to collaborate, one of our member is doing project in that particular space, you can join with them. Any other questions? Yes, Shanmugam. Yes.
okay. Participants, any other questions? Yeah. Sanmohan sir, is there any questions?
Okay, if there is no questions, we can wind up. Yeah, please, Sanmugam, you can write it. So, see, the thing is, you have to come up with a concrete problem, right? If you are a beginner, it is not possible for us, right? If you are having already something, then we can collaborate. Or you can join with our team as a fresher. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your whole day you have spent it and you have elaborately delivered more very informative details towards blockchain in banking sector as well as insurance, and how the blockchain is going to be change our day-to-day life in different sectors. That will be, I hope, all the participants have enjoyed with your presentation from morning 10 to right now. Thank you so much, sir, for wonderful contribution towards the Saidamol Engineering College for the past three phases of our blockchain. Thank you so much, sir. We'll be in touch, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Participants, tomorrow we have a speaker called Dr. Prashant from PSNA College of Engineering and Technology. He is going to handle two sessions in morning. One session is going to handle role of IoT in blockchain, and in second session he is going to talk about blockchain and its integration with IoT. That is research challenges and issues. We have two sessions with Prashant. So kindly join the meeting before 10 o'clock so that the session we can start exactly 10 a.m. Okay. I hope all the participants, you know the rules of AICT. You must post your feedback in all the sessions. That is 80% of the attendance you have to maintain, and 60% of the test you have to secure in the last day of our FDP. Hope everyone will attend the FDP regularly, and you will get knowledge as well as certification. Right? Thank you, one and all. We'll meet tomorrow morning, 9:45. Thank you. Bye bye.